Bienvenidos, mi nombre es Marger. I'm a singer-songwriter born in Venezuela, but now I live in Miami. Today, we're gonna have a conversation with three super talented Afro-Latina artists as we talk about music and the culture of Afro-Latinidad. I'm very excited to introduce you to our panelists. Please welcome Puerto Rican soul songstress, Calma Carmona.
Hi, guys. I'm really, really honored and so happy to be here with you guys.
Next, Grammy and Latin Grammy nominated tropical artist, Leslie Cartaya.
Hi, pleasure to be here with you.
Last but not least, she played Afro-Latina icon Celia Cruz in Telemundo series Celia. Let's welcome singer and actress Jeimy Osorio.
Hi, thank you for having me here. So honored. Thank you.
Okay, ladies, let's start. What does it mean to be Afro-Latina? And how do you identify personally?
Well, I think Afro-Latina is one of the many terms that describe me. I was born in a very, very, very little town in Cuba. So once you're born in Cuba, you already have in your bloodline this whole herencia de sabrosura que ya viene con el paquete. Y I am very, very, very proud to say that I represent so many things. I represent Africa, I represent Spain, I represent the Taino Indians that were in Cuba already when the Africans and Spaniards got there. So being an Afro-Latina for me is representing all these things and doing it with love and being proud of la herencia que representamos, and that it comes out in our music, in our arts. For me, it's an honor to be an Afro-Latina.
For me, Afro-Latinidad is honoring my roots, honoring who I am from top to bottom. Afro-Latinidad to me right now is a label that describes my physical features, but inside I am more than just Afro-Latina. So for me, Afro-Latinidad is just a compound of the wholeness of who I am, which I know is just more than being African. So it's like having the whole world inside me and being proud of it.
Calma, what is for you being Afro-Latina or an Afro?
To me, being Afro-Latina, as beautifully said by Jeimy, is honoring my bloodline, honoring my ancestors, honoring a part of where I came from. It is, since I was a little girl, you are taught that, at least from where I'm from, that Puerto Rico is a mixture of races. No, it's a mixture of Indian and African and Spaniard. And I am all of those things, and I am proud of all of those things. So I carry it with a lot of proudness, and I try to honor it as best as I can.
Many times in life, I felt I have to validate my blackness. What about you guys? Have you ever faced the same experience?
Well, for me, let me say first that I've been doing something that we call Afro-Cuban funk for the past 16 years. So we have a group called Palo, and we've been doing Afro-Cuban funk for the past 16 years. And even before, when the social media was not so popular, I would record songs and people would come to me and say, where's the singer of the band? And I'd be like, it's me. And they'd be like, no, but you're not black. And your voice sounds, and I'm like, it's okay, I completely understand. It happens to me all the time. And actually now, not as much, because now, thank God, we have social media. But before, when I used to record, my voice sounds like that because I've always loved Afro-Cuban music, African music, Caribbean music, tropical music. I always say a hybrid of so many things. I'm a mix of so many things, and I love American music. Afro-American music. I love Afro-Latin music from the Caribbean. I love Afro-Cuban music. So I sing this music. My whole life I've been singing this way. So everybody says, your voice sounds like so, I'm like so black. Yes, but then you're not completely black. and it's okay. I mean, you don't have to look a certain way to sing a certain type of music or to love a certain type of music or style, let's say. And it's happened to me my whole life. I mean, I don't look completely black, so they're not sure, where are you from? And I'm like, I'm Cuban. Well, but then you're Caribbean. You're not really, Afro. And I say, yes, we are. All Caribbean is Afro. So yes, I've had to explain myself my whole life.
How about you, Calma?
So I've always felt more of the need to express and validate myself as an individual. I am Puerto Riqueña, and I was raised by military parents. So I was raised in the southern part of the US, in Puerto Rico, and in Germany. And to me, just having a mixture of all types of people and places was just normal. And once I started my music career, I started seeing that people wanted to box me in here and to box me in there, because for some people it's obvious that I am more light-skinned. To some people it's more obvious that I have Afro descendants. To some people it's obvious that I'm Latin. To some people they say, oh, you don't have an accent, where are you from? So I think it's a constant reminder by a lot of people, and I feel like all of those things do represent me, but I'm not just one thing. And I feel that these types of conversations are so important because we all have such different stories. We all have different backgrounds. For instance, when I started my musical career, it was the first time I got to visit other Latin countries. I was never exposed to other Latin cultures the way I've been exposed through my career. I've always had a prejudgment, of what Hollywood has shown me, or TV or radio, and it's so much more. To be Latino, to be Latinx or Latina, it's so much. It's so rich, and we have so much in common, and it's so beautiful. And I think that having these types of conversations are so important because all these stories exist, and we are all Latinx, we're all Latino, and we have Afro-Latinidad, and within Afro-Latinidad, there's so many different types of stories as well. So I think I am, more than anything, I'm still exploring this and learning from everybody else, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud that future generations can at least hear this conversation or be a part of this conversation.
Jeimy, have you had the same experience?
It happened to me in the beginning when I was doing Celia, I would say the most, because I'm Puerto Rican and I'm portraying the life of a Cuban icon. So I was like not black enough. I was not Cuban enough. And I started thinking about all those things that I could not be enough, but I didn't allow that to get in the way of performing. So I started focusing on the present instead of thinking who is gonna box me into this, what is going to be the opinion of the other. So the more I focus on the present moment at the performance and everything I do, not just thinking about right now a character, as a singer, but as a human being, as soon as I start focusing on what do I have to think about my subject instead of what the other has to think about me, everything has changed. In my career, I haven't had to defend myself or try to fit myself in a place or change my hair. My hair hasn't been touching any production. They haven't asked me to straighten it. And I've been working for more than 13 years in this industry. And to me, it has been always about how do I see myself in all of this instead of how do others see me. And that's how I put that box, and I just fold it and I put it under the bed and don't think about it. And I use it for store shoes and other stuff.
I totally relate to you, ladies. So, does your identity influence the music that you create?
Well, I think my productions, my songs, pretty much everything I do is influenced by who I am. When I started, I remember being very confused. Like I said before, I'm a mix of things. I love jazz. I love Cuban music. I love Caribbean music. I love classical music. I'm actually a choir director, so I'm classically trained. So, like, for me, it was very hard to find me. It took me a while, many years, like a lot. And when I finally understood what I wanted from my voice, from my music, from my songs, from everything, it made it easier for me. Like, easier to produce music, easier to sing, easier to compose, because I was like, this is what I want to do. And I don't care what's going on, like, I don't care what's going on right next to me. This is me. And I'm gonna defend it and I'm gonna go with it all the way. And the very first time I did that, I actually got nominated for my first Latin Grammy nomination. So, yes, ladies, sí se puede.
Yes. Yes. How about you, Calma?
Absolutely. All I've tried to do all of my career is to be myself. And sometimes that is a lot of things. We are not just one thing, and I try to put into my music all of my experiences and all the places I've lived and where I come from, and it was so hard for me in the beginning, when I started my career, and people just said, no, but you have to choose a genre. You have to choose one thing. And I'm like, but I'm not one thing.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
Exactly.
Afro.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I turned down a lot of big opportunities, and I turned them down because I deep down believed that I wanted to be an artist, to be free to express whatever I wanted to express. And if that took a lot more effort, and if that took a harder path, then so be it, because this is me, and all I know what to do is to be me. And with that exploration of everything I've been exposed to, I have explored, my ancestors, my country, and even things that, for instance, living in Europe in high school, like, that has influenced me as well. And living in Texas and living in Utah and living in El Campo. And it's like, whoa, what do you choose? And I think that you don't have to necessarily live in a lot of different places to have your unique story. There's the internet, there's people we encounter with that have touched us and changed us as well. And all of that is valid. And I feel that we should honor where we come from, and we should be proud, and we should teach, future generations where all these things come from. But I also feel a big responsibility to evolve and take it to the future as well. And I think that's what it's all about.
Beautiful. And honestly, artists, we have to be honest. And Jeimy, what is your experience? What can you tell us about this?
Wow, Calma just said it beautifully. I'm gonna add a little bit more to it because it's basically we come from the same island. I think that's why we feel so connected because right now for me is exactly like that. In my case is I am Puerto Rican. I know that for a fact I have African, I have Indian, and I have Spanish. Okay, perfect. But then I do my DNA research. And I find out that I'm like from all over the world. And I knew it because, you know, when you listen to music, sometimes you don't have to understand the words. You just allow the music and the feeling of the music take over you. So for me, that was the main thing I wanted to create with my music. It's honoring who I am, my African roots, from Nigeria, from Lesotho, 150,000 years ago, running all over the world, coming, creating, for example, I have a song that is a mix with Caribbean soca with flamenco. I have another song that inside of that has tabla, and I have another one that's a tango, but in the essence, it's me. So it's like I am right now, I am the most free expression of my ancestors. That's a privilege. And to know where I come from and to embrace it and to understand that the past is gone, that slavery is gone, that I am no longer a slave, that I'm no longer going to be killed for being magical, for being unique, and for having a gift. It's what makes me create music and stay away from what everyone has told me to do.
Exactly.
For
Honest.
example, yes, I have said no so many times, and I'm so grateful every time that I say no, that I knew that something better was going to come. And for me, it has to get to know myself. It has been to understand who I am and go back to my roots so I can bring you who I am. And this is how I give to the world. By knowing who I am, not comparing myself to another one, not saying I am going to be the next someone, a next icon or next something. Is who am I so I can.
Exactly.
Yes, I just want to be me. That's it.
Yes.
The power
Yes.
of no, the power of be true to yourself.
Yes.
And, in the music industry, we go through exactly what Leslie and all of you have said, being honest with ourselves. Me, in my case, I always people wanted me to do certain kind of music because the way I look. And I said, no, I'm going to do what I feel I have to do. And I have to go back and honor my ancestors and honor my music roots, the music that my grandparents did, soul music. I grew up listening to jazz, soul music, R&B. And it doesn't matter which part of the world you grew up. If you born black in China, are you black or you Chinese? You're still gonna be black. It doesn't matter. And at the end of the day, we have to open those doors that we can do whatever we deserve to be ourselves, unique souls, doing and putting out there our art, our heart, our heritage, and then it's how we collaborate with the music industry. So, Leslie, which one has been the biggest challenge being an Afro-Latina in the music industry?
Wow. The biggest challenge, I think for me, the biggest challenge was the beginning of my career, discovering who I am. What do I want to do exactly? It's a hard industry. It's not a simple, it's not a simple place to be. So sometimes it depends on like one decision, it's like so important sometimes that you do this or do that. It's like sometimes you're at a crossroad and you're like, should I go through the path that I know it's going to take me there directly, or should I go through this other path that might take me a little longer but I might get to a better place? And then that's the thing with this industry sometimes, that's the hard thing for me. The challenge for me is that it's saying like every day, is this what I want to do or is this what I want to do? And like, how do I don't know if it happens to you girls, but to me it's like, how do I make it so it's like, so I have, you know, what I want at the same time with like what's current and what's modern or what's going on, so that I don't stay in the past, like Calma said. I'm always on top of that. Like, I don't want to do the music that we did in the 30s because we're not in the 30s anymore. But I do want to honor that music that happened in the 30s, in the 40s, in the 50s, and I want to keep that semilla alive, you know? So how do I make it so that I'm honoring the past, but at the same time I'm building the future? So I think that's where my challenge lies.
Beautiful. We are in the same path, and this is beautiful, ladies. Jeimy, I would like to hear from you.
Well, my biggest challenge, I don't know. I don't want to call anything as a challenge. I'm very positive. I'm like, hey, peace and love. And
Here's always positivity.
yes, and you know, in my case, I always talk about my experience and how I see every challenge. For me, I don't think there's a challenge yet because I know that what I've been creating with my music has been my biggest gift to the world. And for me, I know it takes time and I know it takes effort and there's a lot of things that me as an artist have to consider. So right now, it's like you said, Leslie, the most important challenge is who am I and what am I gonna give to you? How am I gonna leave this planet better than what I found it because of what I am creating with love? What's the purpose of my music? And by understanding what's the purpose and why am I here is the biggest tool. And I guess the challenge, I don't know, because it's not a matter of, it's a career, because suena como una carrera, pero no hay nadie corriendo. There is not a time frame. I don't have to do it right now, so I don't think that I'm failing because I am not doing it right now. I'm not making it to the chart. You know, when I think I win when I don't compare myself, when I don't see myself like others and start seeing my path as something that I am creating. And I am creating it with the people that I have around me and the opportunities that are arising. I try not to force anything. And I think that's something that has happened in my career that it has been a mantra that I have always said. It is, yo no toco puertas. Las puertas siempre están abiertas.
Doors are always open for you.
Yes, las puertas siempre están abiertas. And for me, it has not been a career of struggling or forcing myself for people to understand me. And I think for me, the biggest gift is to be here and to talk about these things that when I was growing up, when I was little, I used to cry because I was Black and I didn't understand why being Black was bad. And understanding now that I am a grown-up, that these little obstacles, that my skin color, that my hair, that my body shape was different, are what are opening all the doors for me to tell others that it is perfect to be who you are.
Exactly, but now you really recognize that there was a struggle when we were
Children,
in our
yes.
childhood, because there was the mindset changed. So thank God the new generation has more opportunities because
Yes.
there's an opening.
Yes.
But we did struggle when we were younger because we grew up thinking that being Black was bad.
Mm-hmm.
But we grew up and we grew inside and we grew up stronger. Calma, have you feel that you had a challenge for being Afro-Latina in the music industry? Or obstacle?
I feel that there's a huge necessity, a huge need in having more Afro-Latinas in all types of genres.
Absolutely.
I feel that this would clear up a lot of confusion. I feel like this would show that there's a lot of different types of Afro-Latinas. You know, there's alternative, there's punk, there's classical, there is, you know, such as any human being. And I feel that since there's such little representation, people want to label it as one type and only have that one representation within within popular music.
Correct.
I feel that people want that change. I feel like having these conversations again is important for this change to happen.
Yeah.
And when I was little, I noticed differences. You know, I didn't know how to deal with my hair. I think my hair as well didn't know what to do because I have about 3 or 4 different types of curls. So not even my hair decided what to do.
It happens to me too.
And I know, and you know, I couldn't just put the gel in for it to be curly and pretty. It was like, well, what am I gonna do here and here? And
Yes.
and I got the dreads because it was the only time where I felt that I could have my hair down completely and not worry about it looking impaired, like just
Exactly.
a little off. And now, you know, now with social media and now there's so many products and so many so much information out there.
Celebration
so
of
much
our
information out there.
Yeah.
And I think that it's time for the music industry, especially in the Latin, you know, in
the Latin side.
the Latin side, to show a lot of more what Latin really is, which
Exactly.
is a lot more.
It's a lot more. It's like in the American side, there's many black female singers. Like there's Mary J. Blige, Beyonce, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj. You know, there's many. In the Latin side, there's few or none, or very few.
Mm-hmm.
So we are so much, and we are like, that's the beauty of being an Afro-Latina, that we come in different shapes and different stories, and we have too much to give and to share. And as you said, I agree 100% with you, Calma. We need more of this. And also for our American side fellows in the industry, understand that we are the voices for other bunch of women who has not the chance to speak. So we're speaking on their behalf, which is a big responsibility for us. So I would like to hear from you ladies. When you grew up, which was the Afro-Latina artist who influenced you or impacted you in your career, and why? Let me go with Jeimy.
Ooh, can you guess? Well, can you guess? Well, for me, Celia Cruz, I would say hands down, Celia Cruz. Number one, because I grew up in a house where my father would listen to salsa, my mother would listen to trio. I am the youngest of 7, and I am the negrita of the blanquitos, and I am the blanquita of the negritos from my father's side. So I understand you girls when you don't feel like you don't fit in. I didn't fit in my family because my mom is white, my father is black, so I was the café con leche. So for me to accept a position somewhere, I don't think I had that. So for me, it was to understand that you don't fit in. Okay, well then don't fit in. That's okay. And then I have my father saying, "Sé tú misma." That's his biggest his biggest advice for me was sé tú misma. And as soon as he said that, and I felt that I was being supported for who I was, for who I am, being la negrita or having the stigma of having pelo malo was something I would just turn the page on, and then let's focus on what can I bring to the table.
Exactly.
And-
Imagine, yeah. Sorry that I interrupt you.
No, and also as you say, Calma, we need more representation. But if we think about it, our culture now is the only time in history that we're finally opening up and talking about these subjects. So it's okay that we don't have enough representation because we are creating it now. From here to 10 years, I'm sure there will be more representation, but we need to put ourselves there. I feel like I need, in my story, I needed to stop saying, oh, this didn't happen to me because I was too black. Oh, this is not my place because I am an Afro-Latina, or they think that I am too black. Just putting outside the thoughts of others.
That energy,
So-
those blockages.
Yes.
Yes, but the great thing about this conversation is that we are breaking barriers. Like, for example, I wish any girl who grew up in Venezuela, which is the country of the Miss Venezuela, every girl has to have the hair straight because the pelo malo, the bad hair.
Oh, sorry, I have to share this.
Yes, go ahead, Calma.
I had the opportunity to sing at the Miss Universe contest.
Oh my God.
And to me, it was like a dream come true because obviously, you know, when you're Venezuela tiene su corona y Puerto Rico es como ahí rival.
Exactly. Venezuela, Puerto Rico, the queens of the beauty.
Pero yo veía todas las reinas and I saw all the queens and I was like, oh, you know. and when I was there, I had, you know, my hairstyle and I felt like this was my crown and it was like a full circle moment for me in the sense that, you know, I just had to be myself. You know, people were saying, oh, vote for Calma. And I was like, yay. So
that is beautiful.
I think what Jeimy says is that when you just don't think about, you know, that stigma and you're just really yourself, things start changing and things start just opening up.
But the environment has to help that because, of course, like as I said, when there's so many different stories, like I hear stories from Colombia, people from Colombia, from El Salvador, from Argentina, black people from other countries have other realities because there's fewer blackness that they see, and they don't see reference that they can feel and identify.
And now there's Isa in Brazil who I adore, and now there are people that are, you know, just being themselves and taking that power
because now we have the internet who breaks barriers.
Absolutely.
So Calma, tell me, which one will be your idol or your reference or your influence as Afro-Latina in your music career?
La Gigi, La Lupe.
Gigi.
La Lupe, she was just so fearless. She was just so powerful. She didn't care, you know, and she just made you feel something. And I just love her.
Yeah, and Leslie, which one will be yours?
Ay, Dios. ¿Ves? Ahí hay un problema. Porque uno solo es muy poquito.
You see, that's why it's only two Afro-Latinas.
It's too little, okay? I have a whole bunch of people. And to me, something I wanted to say is that I think, like, at this point, at least for me, at this point in my life, it's okay to be unique. I mean, I had problems with that the whole way. It's like who's like me? I was the whole time, I'd be like looking for somebody that'd be like, am I like her? No, because maybe I'm not like this and I'm like that. And then after a while, I was like, you know what? I don't have to be like nobody. I can just be me and be unique, and that's okay.
Yes.
And that is completely okay. Just be yourself, be unique. It's fine. I mean, people will accept you. They will love you. If you're honest from your heart, it'll be fine. You'll be okay.
Definitely.
I mean, and for me, I would say, well, número uno, Jeimy, Celia Cruz, ahí estoy contigo.
Yes.
That's my number one. I have to say Ella Fitzgerald. I'm sorry, but I have to say it. I know she's not Cuban. See, there you go. So like everybody's like, oh yeah, your favorite singer is Celia Cruz. Yes, of course. But I also love Ella Fitzgerald. I mean, that's a big number one for me. So like, I have to say I have to. Celia Cruz y Ella Fitzgerald.
Great. It finally seems that there is a space for women like us in our generation. Who do you think represent right now the change of this paradigm of this generation? Calma.
Especially in popular music, I think Goyo, Isa, Cardi B, such powerhouses. They represent within them three so much, and I would just like to see more,
Yeah.
a lot more.
Jeimy.
Well, from my island, there is a group called La Tribu de Abrante. They're bringing bomba, which is our Afro, one of our main rhythms of the island because we have many. Pero uno de estos genres que nos hace tan representativo dentro de la isla, they're attracting the younger people to our roots, and to me that's amazing. And I think I would step a little bit outside of the industry, and I would go like, us as parents are the ones that are creating the change in the generations. Us as teachers, us as people going around and educating others about who are Afro-Latinas and how we should be, treated, because I think we're kind of late to still think about, oh, I should treat you differently because of your skin color and your features, right? So, I mean, us, we have all of us, everyone in this room, everyone as a community, we are the ones that need to create the change for the other generations. We can do it through music, it's a responsibility, but I think the parents have the bigger ones.
As a single
in my
person,
opinion.
you're so beautiful, Jeimy. Leslie, I would like to hear your thoughts on this.
Well, I think there's a lot of change going on all the time. I think things have to change. They need to evolve, they need to change, they need to, become something else. Even if you appreciate the roots and if you like really come from roots, I think things need to change. So I think there's a big amount of people that is trying to do that right now. I mean, we have all sorts of artists, even from Latin America, even from here, from the pop industry. I think there's a lot of change going on. I mean, Latin America, you have Goyo, like Calma said. You have Isa, that's beautiful. You have Lizzo, which is amazing, and I love her. You have Meghan Trainor. You have so much diversity inside the pop industry, inside like whatever's on radio. There's Billie Eilish. There's like a lot going on. So I think we're in a good point right now. And I think we can evolve so much more. I mean, I'm actually now getting together with some salsa singers and like people who actually work the salsa genre. I think we need to change so much. We need to evolve so much, and we're trying to do it with the music, with the compositions, with everything, with the arrangements, and we still feed from the roots. I mean, I think it's important that we specify. It's not like we're trying to do a new genre. Mm-hmm. We're just trying to make it a little more modern inside that same genre. So I think that's what's the challenge. That's what we need to do. I mean, how do we do it so that we keep it real, so that we keep it core, that we keep it roots, and it still sounds modern. It still sounds 2020,
Evolve.
Yeah. Right. Evolve. Yeah. Yes, as Jeimy said, I believe that it starts with us, within us, and also sharing stories and sharing music from people who has no possibilities. I know so many talented young people in Argentina, Afro-Latinos doing R&B, soul music, like Afro beats, so many different styles, and we are the people who are going to help them, each other. We have to help each other
That's why.
and be united, not
Make it a
divided.
movement. We need to make it a movement. That's the thing.
Exactly.
but that's why representation matters, because when you see somebody that's alike with, you see some similarities, it gives you courage
Yes.
to do it yourself, and I think we need a lot more representation.
Absolutely.
Yes. And also, you know what? Also, to focus more on what are we alike instead of our differences.
Exactly.
This is how I look on the outside. Okay, you can tell because you have eyes and you can see me. You can see that I am black, that I have, okay. So, but let's see how can we relate better?
Let's become better persons.
Yes, and what's the best of your culture that I can integrate into mine? And I
Yes.
think that's what's gonna happen in the future.
What can we share?
Integration.
What can we share?
I know you guys are indie. How do you feel being indie and this independence? Within your independence, create your own sound and your own music. Let's go for Leslie first.
Well, to me, actually, at the beginning, I felt like I looked more for deals, for acceptance, for for a team, because in this industry it's really hard to work without a team. I mean, you need a team. And at the beginning, I said, I think it's important if I had a record label, if I was signed to a record label, I feel like maybe my music could go more places, or it could be more heard, or maybe I can go like on the charts. And with time, that changed a little bit. I actually have gotten a couple offers, and I've sat down to like talk about this many times. And at the end of the day, I think I prefer to stay the way we are right now as an independent label, just because I feel it gives me all the freedom I need. I don't have to worry about what do I want to write about, or who do I want to be, or who do I want to write with. That's another thing. I mean, to me, it's just so much easy now. Like, it's easier also because with time, we've been able to create a great team. And I have to say, we're an indie label, but we have a great team behind us. And it just feels like right now, we don't really even need anything else. I think we're just like very happy like to where we are right now in the creative process and in the process with the industry, with the business part of it. So I think for me, I'm really happy where I am right now, and I think we're gonna stay like that for a while.
And for me, it's the same. Leslie, I stand with you. For me, the creative process has been the most important for me because my music career has been my dream all along. When I grow up, I wanted to become a singer, not an actress. The acting career came as an opening door for the music one. So for me, taking care of what is the most precious thing in my life, which is this dream of creating something exactly as I have it right here in my mind for all my life, needs to be taken care of. And I know that sometimes I got signed for a year with a record company, and they wanted me to sing reggaeton, and at the beginning I didn't want to do it. So I said, I have a different sound. I know that I don't belong in any genre because I want to have the Afrobeats with the classical music. And maybe you don't get that right now, but in the future it will make sense. And people would say, well, where is it going to play? That's not going to play on the radio. And I was like, I don't care if it doesn't play on the radio. It is okay if people don't listen to it right now. I am doing this for maybe the people in the future. I am doing it because I know there's a purpose behind each song. There's a purpose behind each letter that's in the lyrics and each note. And that's how you create something unique, by defending. It's not even defending, but by embracing it, conserving it, and looking forward to making it grow not to try to fit it into something.
To box it
And
into something.
exactly, and for me to become myself and to defend who I am, but not defending because there's no war to be defending from, right? But I know that the people that I've seen and I've admired, they have always taken the path that's outside the mainstream.
Yes, great.
And if you want to stand out, you stand out for who you are. You see? And all these people that have been successful is because they have stood their ground in what they believe in. Even
That's it.
people, when people said no to them, they would say yes, and they would keep going and working and waking up each day, making it work because they have it in their minds that in the end it did work. And then the other people say, oh, I always knew it from the beginning.
Yes.
I didn't
Right?
see that.
So exactly, and that's the main point, to stay on your ground and say this is what I want to do. And for me, it has been like that, and I have been so proud of the 3 or 4 songs that I've just released. That I don't have any rush that if they don't become the biggest hit, but I know that I gave my heart to it, and that's the gift. And I know now that social media and the music platforms have made it easier for us to find music from different ages. For example, I have music from the 70s. I am discovering still music from the 50s. So I know that my music is for a specific person that is looking for something. And I don't want to push myself into something. I would like it for people to also come to me. And if I have something to share that's unique, that's how I am going to stand out.
I can absolutely relate with you ladies. I did not create my label because that was my dream. I created my label because I said no to a lot of deals because I was asked to be to do just one thing, and I just, I became an artist to feel free and do whatever I want and express whatever I wanted to, and I just felt like that was not something I wanted to negotiate. And now with time, with me having explored with music and finding myself a little bit more, I feel like my mission is to be part of the big industry, because I feel like that's the way to make change. I feel like I took the harder route, and some people, for some, it's just like, tienes que dar de la ala para comer de la pechuga.
Me encanta.
I don't know if it's because I'm pretty stubborn and I said no. I want to do what I want to do.
Calma,
like,
please
even if-
explain in English. Explain
Even
in
if-
English.
even if
What is
I-
that?
Oh, you have to give,
Please.
like the chicken wing to eat from the. I don't know how to say it in Spanish. Meaning you have to sacrifice something in order to be yourself, and I just didn't think that was fair. I feel like there should be a much more fair negotiation with every artist, and now I just feel passionate about finding those loopholes, getting in there, and definitely being open to negotiate with a big label and being part of it and creating change within that. Mm-hmm. And I think that is so important. And I, sometimes I feel a little crazy because it's a tall order and it's very ambitious. But that's just me. So
Yes, but now labels are also changing because
Absolutely.
me be signing with Sony and be seeing what Goyo is doing and how they're supporting us, letting us be, and encouraging us to do what we feel to do and the music we feel. It's a great opportunity in time. And also, the Recording Academy has the Black Music Collective, which is all, people from the labels in the Black community getting reunited because of the Recording Academy. So we have more chances. The world is changing for best.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Ladies, what advice do you have for the new generation of Afro-Latinos artists coming up? Jeimy.
Show up.
Hey.
Show up. Show up. Show up. Be present. Be who you are. Know your soul. Bring your essence everywhere you go. Forget about the past. You're not being enslaved anymore. You are a true, beautiful, free soul who's out of the anger and the pain of our ancestors. So we have a clean slate to start all over again and be free and be happy and bring our gifts to everyone. So
Yes.
open your heart and embrace your beauty and accept how beautiful you are from coming from Mother Africa. That's
Yes.
our biggest right now. That's our biggest blessing to understand where we come from and to be proud of it and to enjoy it and to enjoy everything that it brings.
Yes. Show up and speak. Leslie.
I'd say the same thing. I mean, just be yourself. Be yourself. I mean, know who you are. Go back if you have to, you know.
Yes.
Reinvent yourself if you have to, but just be yourself. And be happy with yourself and express that.
Yes.
I think as long as you're happy with yourself and you come from a truthful point, everybody's gonna get you. That's what I feel. That's what's happened to me.
Yes.
And Calma.
I'd say focus on the future. You know, focus on what you want to do. Focus on how you see yourself. Focus on your vision. Nobody has your vision except yourself. So not everybody's going to understand that, you know. Not everybody's going to be like, oh, that's amazing, you know. Like, you know, you have to fight for your vision and you have to be headstrong. And even if it doesn't exist, you make it exist.
Create it.
Created.
You create
Yes,
it.
it's beautiful. This has been an incredible conversation, ladies. Thank you so much for your honesty and bravery. And thank you for joining us today.